Hey everyone, it's Michelle here real quick, just popping in to, one, be a little bit extra, and yes, again, feature my Coachtopia Crescent Alter Ego shoulder bag, or I said that backwards. My Coachtopia Alter Ego Crescent shoulder bag. I wanted to just show her to you because I did actually go ahead and clean and condition her. That is one of the things that I've realized with Coach bags, especially over the last couple of years that I've been purchasing them. I know Coach, or at least my sales associates have told me that Coach recommends cleaning and conditioning your bags every 3 months. But one thing I began to consider, especially as I started buying some of the leathers that are a little thinner, like the Alter Ego and the Brooklyn, I noticed that sometimes when I'm getting them first hand, fresh from the factory, right, that some of them do appear to be a little bit dry. And who is to say that it hasn't already been 3 months since that bag has been manufactured and packaged? And so I just started honestly doing the cleaning and conditioning of the bag as soon as I know that I'm keeping it. I've cut all the tags, and I feel like it makes such a huge difference in allowing the leather to wear like all together versus some areas being dry. This bag, I've only had this for a few days now. I have been wearing it nonstop. She is so squishy. She is so soft and feels like what some of my other Brooklyns already feel like. And when I first got her, I felt like it was much more stiff. And the conditioner, of course, also brings out like that little bit of a deeper red hue. But this is not a what's in my bag video. I just wanted to show you that this is one of those bags that can be a, what do they call them, like a book top purse. I love, as much as I love bags, like bags has been a newer thing for me over the last few years. So I've been working to more closely hone in on my personal style and clear up my wardrobe to have it honestly display who I feel myself to be, right? I want the inner and the outer Michelle to be the same, right? And I think for a long time I had been very cautious in how I allowed my style to show, but I mean, we're throwing caution to the wind now, so it is what it is. But I love, more than bags, and you're gonna be like, what, how? More than bags, I am a book person. I will tell anybody and everybody who listen that first and foremost, I am a reader, a writer, and an artist. And one of my things that I've been doing on my YouTube channel, which if you're not following me there, or if you haven't looked at it already, is I finally decided to kind of reach out on a limb with the challenge of doing a monthly mindfulness. This is a check-in for me to share and show, but also to help hold myself more accountable and consistent, but also to challenge other people to adopt a regular, whether it's a daily, weekly, monthly, what have you, cadence of mindfulness in grounding yourself in your present reality. For me, it's a combination of things like gratitude and exercise and taking better care of my body and, really indulging in my self-cares and allowing myself to move out of that mindset of focusing so much either on the past or anticipating so much in the future. And it has done a wonder for me. So I'm actually about to do my check-in for September, where I'll show what I did in August, and then I'll set the new intention for September. So if you're not already following that along, or if you haven't checked out any of those videos, it is a newer series. You can jump on and find that. My YouTube is in my link to my bio, but my names are the same, Mikiki 1988. But anyway, all that to say, one of my favorite mindfulness activities is reading. And that's something that I have enjoyed ever since I was a kid. I think it's probably the reason why my eyes were bad, because I would like strain my eyes in the dark to read. And I love to read in like 3 different genres in general. I love to read autobiographies because they say on average it takes about 10 years for an author to write a book. And, when you're trying to hone in on your own personal life path or success or whatever it is you're trying to learn, you could take that 10 years that somebody else has done research and you can read it in like a week, a few days, to really ingest and learn at a faster pace. But I also love reading autobiographies for the opportunity to find relativity. I think you find the true depths of a person, their thinking, their heart, their intentions, their passions, in their written voice. A lot of times when we're speaking outwardly, we're saying the safe things and we're avoiding the uncomfortable conversations. And I am a person who likes to just get to what the heart of the matter is, right? I do love to read fiction, but I like to read fiction that is really more fact than fiction, especially when people take situations from their own personal lives and then create a story around it while still keeping true to what the actual event was. And so that is what brought me to this gorgeous, gorgeous book called On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. And, you know, I love authors with lots of depth. Honestly, some of my top authors, well, you'll find them here on my body, right? I've got Maya Angelou, I've got Langston Hughes, I love Toni Morrison, Bell Hooks, and I was so, oh my gosh, let me sidetrack for a second. I was so devastated when, I mean, of course, when Maya Angelou passed, and then I cried for at least a week when Toni Morrison passed, and then when Bell Hooks passed during that time, that happened not so long ago, I was like, who is going to guide me in my writing and in my reading? Like, who can I look up to as book mentors? So I have found a few other authors that I really enjoy, but I especially found that I love foreign authors, specifically Asian and West African authors, because their command of the English language and the way that they use more formal words that clearly indicate like stronger passion and stronger, like more depth. Those are my favorite, because I feel like a lot of authors here in the United States are very lazy with our English. Americans in general, right, are very lazy with our English. But back to the book. So I had come across this book. Ooh, how did I find it? Oh, I know. I was, I think I was scrolling and a brief interview clip popped up when the author, whose name is Ocean Vuong, was talking about where this book came from. And his mother was passing, and I'll have to double check. I think she was passing from end stage dementia or Alzheimer's, or maybe it was cancer. It was a horrible disease, and essentially she was already in that stage where she was very delirious. And there was a conversation that he wanted to have with her, but he's like, you know, you don't do that to somebody who's in that stage when they're not totally coherent. And so in those moments, which is a real event, right? In those moments when his mother was passing, you know, he just sat with her, he talked to her about just light things, and he expressed that love. And then he went back and he wrote a letter talking about what he really wanted to say to her and the things that he really wanted to address. And so I'm very interested in diving into this book because I love that, you know, Ocean Vuong was an immigrant to this country, right? But he and I are also relative in age. I think he was also born in 1988. And I'm very excited to and I say excited because I know this is going to be a beautiful tragedy. I know this is probably going to be one of those books that makes me cry. But I love connecting with real people. I love connecting with real books. But this particularly had some relativity for me. You know, I haven't really shared it a whole lot yet. People who know me personally know this, but, you know, my father did pass when I was very young. I was 12 to be exact. He passed about a week right after my 12th birthday. And there are so many things that came to light about who he was and the things that he was trying to do to make our lives better that I didn't realize until, you know, probably about like 2 decades after he passed. For reference, I am now 37. And it took a long time for me to kind of, I guess, relegate and be okay with the fact that I was never going to be able to have that conversation with him in the living flesh, but I could still have that conversation. So I'll share that experience in another story and what have you. You'll hear it eventually. But I'm excited to read this book for that reason. And I also kind of just wanted to ask, you know, when was the last time that any of you picked up a book? Like, do you guys still read? Do you still investigate that part of yourself? Do you still explore the world through reading? I want to know. And if not, why? What would it take to get you to read a book? I'll look forward to talking to you guys in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a great one.